My name is Gramps, and I will be today reviewing and doing an analysis of my friend AWVK's Huntress games. I'll be doing maybe 2 to 3 to 4, however many I see fit to describe what I see as the centralized problems in his gameplay. I have not watched any of these beforehand. I'll be watching it fresh for the first time, and then I will try and determine a pattern of problems or main things that are not being done, and what he can do to improve them, and how overall the mechanical and um, more theory craftable components of his gameplay can be improved. So we'll start off with this first VOD. It's on an Auto Haven map
Get shadow buff. They've just always
on
been good. They've just
Azeroth's
always been
resting
the best
place.
item.
Okay, so build. I don't know what the fuck that perk does. Corrupt Intervention, excellent perk for the Huntress. It's going to be nerfed soon, unfortunately, but it'll probably still be pretty good on Huntress. Barbecue and Chili is just the standard. Like, it's Barbecue and Chili. Iron Maiden, you know what I think about Iron Maiden. Add-ons, I would rather have Unfortunate First Hatchet. Uh, Pulling up here is good though. You want to wait a little longer though, because since you have the ability, um, to wait there, you should be able to know that you can wait a little bit there, because once he goes inwards, you'll be able to hit his leg hitbox. There, you just didn't like account for his nice. You waited, and he dodged, and you hit him. Here you can just break the pallet right here on this side. Yes, correct. Now he is zoned. He's not going that way, so he must be going back this way. Okay, put your hatchet down. Never mind, he just goes through. I would have put my hatchet down and walked closer to him and then hatcheted him. It would have been safer, but that's good. Nice hatchet. You see the guy crossing by and he doesn't pay attention to you. Don't shoot it. He's definitely gonna know that you've been... You are definitely, like, being downloaded right now. Like, the survivors are thinking, oh, okay, this is like an actual Huntress player. I better not run in a straight line. So you're going to have to counter-predict for what they do. I would put my hatchet down here. You are wasting a lot of time. This is a straight flyer, extremely hard to hit through that hole. So you don't want to be doing it like that. You should have gone and picked up the guy you downed. That was a big mistake from you. Look how much time you have spent on your corrupt intervention. Yes, you got 2 tags, but you also lost a down that you could have gotten, and you wasted an additional hatchet, and you went through an entire new reload cycle without achieving anything. Look at all the time you have wasted here.
Well, bro, I just heard a fucking. I heard a Felix.
Okay, Felix is here. Target Felix! Target Felix! No, no, no! Don't target this guy. No, this is such a bad targeting. Also, this is unfortunate hatchetry. That one should have been higher. I feel like Babushka is better here than infantry build, but I feel like you're... It feels like you're playing like you have Babushka, but you're not, like, respecting your stock infantry. Your stock wind-up, basically. You 100% do not go for the... whatever the fuck this character is, Eugen. You don't go for the Eugen. Look at what add-ons you have. You have Oak Haft, and you go for the guy who's near Shack instead of the guy who purposefully he zoned himself. He went into the corner versus an Oak and Half Huntress. You get on that guy. That guy's a fucking instantaneous down, man. Okay, doing a basic mind game here. Unfortunately, this means that they're going to be able to run back into the map, which is not really something you want. You pull up way, way too much here. Like, you should not be pulling up. You need to gain vision of what they're doing first. Unless you have an extremely good prediction of what they're doing, you should never be pulling up like this. It feels like you're pulling up your hatchet because you want to just... You want to walk across, see if they're there. If they're there, then you shoot. If they're not there, then you will just like shoot at whoever comes across. It feels like you're trying to be a sentry gun when really you should be a heat-seeking missile, man. Like you should be going towards the survivors, getting vision of them, and then just tracing them with hatchets. Okay, this is an insta down. Nice. Do not throw another hatchet.
Okay, maybe I'm not done joking around.
It would have been so much better if you just walked to him. Nice angle here, but you're not going to be able to get anything. If there was a survivor working on that gen, you were going to have to throw over and to the right because they would have juked to the right, to the more closed part of the map where it's safer. See, like, you had such an incredible beginning, but with all of this, you did kind of like a load of nothing, right? There's nothing being achieved. And you only have 2 hatchets because you didn't reload after you picked up, so you only have 2 hatchets. Now you need to go through a reload cycle. You have pop, so your reload, or not pop, you have Iron Maiden, so your reload cycle is much closer. But it's still unfortunate. You're gonna need to probably transfer the map now because unless you have gens on your side, which you don't, you cannot hold this area. Yeah, you gotta transfer the map. Which I think you realize here.
I don't know why they were pulling up, but they were pulling up. Wonder how much vodka the Huntress drinks on her weekend off from killing.
Here I would be checking all of the back generators and then patrol. Oh, you saw the guy there. You don't want to take window vaults as Huntress because with other killers you're at least 115, so you can catch up when when you surprise someone with a vault. But with Huntress you're still even slower. So window vaults with Huntress have to be very precise and like very dedicated. This is good what you're doing here. Like the idea is good, right? So the idea here is really good that you're zoning this person off, but you can't zone them from here. You want to go a little bit outwards, right? Because they have so much direct LOS here. But whereas if you from here, if you strafe to the right, they're going to have less LOS. Or I guess I didn't explain myself correctly. Basically, you want to go to the center of the map and zone them off rather than go to that corner. But even in that scenario, you don't want to be committing your time there because you have the territory of gens here. Don't pull up. Yes, good. Now you pull up. Oof, you should have waited a little. It's usually not worth doing those mind games because those mind games are kind of difficult to pull off. What I would have done is I would have committed to going all the way. Right here, this is something that catches off a lot of survivors that do this this waiting. Is I would go and I would just keep going all the way to the left and throw a quick hatchet around the corner at a curved angle, and that usually catches them. It is quite a bit more difficult on Autohaven than on Macmillan, but with some practice you can get it done. I wouldn't raise your hatchet, I would go more mid-map first. Oof. They juke at the correct time. Don't throw this, it's not gonna hit. Yeah. It's very obvious that she's gonna go inwards, and you can't throw this either because she will not get hit by it.
Bro, what the fuck, Felix?
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep holding it. No. Okay, look. Very common pattern. Very common pattern that survivors have. A lot of survivors display. They go somewhere, they juke, they come back, and they juke again. This is a very common pattern. So think about it this way. Imagine that this set of tires is a survivor, right? A bad survivor will juke to the left, then go back to their original position, and then you can throw and hit them. But good survivors who understand the mechanics and the mental mind games of Huntress will understand that they can go to the left, then juke to the right, but then at the last second go back to the left. For basically baiting out a hatchet confirmation throw. And we have already established that these are 4 good thinking players. Yes, they're going to juke to the left. Ooh, that is so unfortunate. Insta down. This is an insta down. Oof, I would not raise your hatchet here.
My marbles, bro. Patty Kerr. Bring that ass back here, please.
Here, this is just patience. Also, you have a lot of flick aim. Keep it centralized. Look at how you flick this.
Bring that ass back here, please.
You like flick to the left to try and like correct it. You don't want to do that. You just want to keep it slow and steady. That's the better aiming style. So don't pull up your hatchet here. You should pull up her hatchet when her speed boost is fully completed. That's a good metric that I use it. It's obviously scenario based, but a good metric is that when their speed boost is over, then you can pull the hatchet because the environment for it is better. He's gonna juke hold it, and he does the exact same bait. You've been falling for it all game, man. It's very important as Huntress that you identify these common, like this almost sequiturs. Oh, almost a very good hatchet. These like common sequiturs, or I don't even know what that word means. These common kind of mind games and things that survivors do, and it's difficult because when you play a lot of this killer, because I know Wavy Kate plays a lot of Huntress and has played a lot of Huntress. When you play a lot of these killers, you try and want to default and tend to go to what works best for you and what you do like on an average game, but you can't do that versus good survivors, and you can't especially do that on Huntress because you want to be constantly shifting up your mind games. You don't want ever to be predictable. You play very predictably your Huntress. It's not dynamic enough. Your Huntress, like it feels like you don't adapt. You keep trying the same thing on players who they obviously will not fall for. There's no point throwing that hatchet, but there's no real harm either because you have all this. Now this could be a potential 4K if you get this guy downed. So what I would do here is I would not raise a hatchet. You want to get into the center of the map first, the most vision. Procure your vision first and then raise your hatchet. Good, you're waiting here. Raise another hatchet. Oof, a little too high. M1, M1. Oof, look. That is indeed a colossal toss. As Wavy Kate says himself, you want to M1 there because you get the M1 down, and then you are able to hatchet the other guy who doesn't make it to something else. Don't throw this. It's not going to be there. Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, the reason I could tell that hatchet wasn't gonna hit, even though in theory, I would have 100% gone for that hatchet, but I would have hit the corner. The reason why I know you're not gonna hit is because look at the angle that you approach this, right? The angle at which you approach this loop is not correct. You're facing more to the left than to the right, but your objective is to get a curved hatchet around the right corner. So you must approach it with a set preference towards the right angle, but you approach it with a set preference towards the left angle. And so when you throw, your hatchet hits the object, or it will have missed entirely. Instead of hitting the curved spherical hitbox, they will be going full wide. Yes. Okay, here's another thing. You want to purposefully give them LOS if they don't get stronger LOS. What happens if they get this pallet gem? You'll be able to zone, you'll be able to get better LOS. But because you went this way, what has happened instead is they managed to get the LOS behind this little object, and now they have the rest of this whole map. They transfer to the other side of the map instead of transferring to mid-map. And mid-map is better for you to be there because you could zone them at that single C-gem pallet better than you could if he transferred to the entire other side of the map. Now this game is essentially done and dusted. There's probably nothing you can do to win this here, but we can still talk about a little bit of the mechanics and the things that I feel like you're doing incorrectly. Don't throw, he's not going to peek. Okay, you want to hit a survivor like that? I will tell you what 120% that survivor will be hit by. These players are good survivors, and I say good for pubs. They're good survivors, but they're also a little bit exploitable. Like, I can think of several mind games and tricks and tips that I could use to try and catch these players off in the moment. Like, it's kind of I can see as a more experienced Huntress player. I don't want to say a better Huntress player because I don't think I am necessarily good. I just think I have a lot of time and I enjoy theory crafting and talking about the mechanics of this. But what I would have done is I would have thrown through those two white trees, this one and this one, to this corner right here, this little crack corner. And the reason why I do that is because survivors like these are sometimes unsure of getting their, let's say, getting their egos hurt, getting sniped, for example. Because being sniped, if you're a good survivor, is kind of a little bit of an ego blow, no? So what would happen is I would snipe right here because the survivor will double back a little bit and touch this corner because he doesn't want to approach right here in case the large Huntress hitbox interacts with his hitbox and hits him. So look, you see, for a second there he peeked, and in that second you can visibly see him peek right there. In that second, if you threw the hatchet at crack angle through the two white trees, you would have procured a down. See right here? See right here? She's going that way. She's going that way. And she peeks back in that second.
Somebody over here.
It's a little difficult to see, actually. I would get a hook, by the way. I would 100% hook this person. Reason why? Because you can play off of downing people around a hook more than you can if they're just on the ground.
Bro, he's crawling.
And look, now he's crawled near to the hook. Or to the gate.
Bro, it do be your own hatchets. Bro, I had the shit secured too. And I don't really have a better...
Go mid? Yes, good work. Don't throw it. You know she's gonna juke. You know DH?
Wait.
Oh, she didn't DH. Interesting. Reload, 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 reload. No! This is calamity if the other survivor comes.
I only have one hatchet left.
Actually, no, that survivor is injured, so they can't body block. Okay. Okay, that survivor is inting. Reload, reload, quickly, quickly. Yes, good. Ooh, you don't get the angle that you want. Just hook this person. It's a waste of a hatchet there. They're never gonna peek. They're gonna play 100% super safe.
We can maybe catch him greeting, bro.
They're going to reset and they're going to go for a double man save.
Where's the Mia? Where's the Hattie?
Bait. This is 100% bait. Don't go for this. You're not hitting it. Oh, you went for the crack angle shot. That's good, but she held W off of it. You can tell. Watch. Look at that. You see? She didn't actually enter. Look, look. She's gonna run the other way now, because you can see her head kind of disappear. Look, see? She ran all the way to mid-map. She didn't even bother to peek the window anymore. She just ran all the way away. And then she came back while you were reloading. You get this? Remember DH? Nice.
Bro, you can't leave the homie. You can't leave the homie.
Well, you heard a sign notification there, which means that you can push this person out and be completely safe. Push them out. Push the person out. You can afford to. Just taking sniping pot shots. That's fine. Just remember you have limited hatchets and you can't really reload in case they come.
Where is... Bro, the Nia's kinda... playing with their life, bro.
I would perma have my hatchets full, by the way. I think we're gonna skip past this just because it seems like nothing's really gonna happen. Nice, you get a 2k off this. Okay, you get a 3k.
Double body block, bro. Oh.
Hold your hatchet, hold your hatchet. No, no, pull your hatchet. Okay, well, never mind. I guess they just don't make it. I feel like if they did the come now thing at the last second, they probably would have made it.
I respect the attempt. I don't make it to a hook. What am I talking about?
Hey, just drop them. Drop him, drop him. There's enough time. Nice. So, this is a 3k.
I should have.
Well, this is a 3k, but to be completely honest, you played very poorly, I think, especially in the beginning of the match. In the second half of the match, you started doing better. But still, a lot of things that you can work on. A lot of things that we can glean from this match. In the beginning, it was a really big macro issue, like kind of, like not, I won't say unfamiliarity with the class, but kind of like not realizing how important your time is and your location is on the class, because Huntress is a super slow killer. And Huntress is the kind of killer that can snowball very quickly, but you can get snowballed against as a Huntress very quickly, because the whole game is dependent on if you hit your hatchets. So there are very few games where you can be hitting all your hatchets and then you miss like 6 hatchets in a row, and because of that you still don't lose. Because you've been hitting your hatchets before. That's not how it works. You need to keep a constant flow of steady and slow hatchets. Right? You missed a lot of crucial melee hatchets this game. Keep it slow and steady. Don't be wild, don't be chaotic with your flicks. Just keep it slow and steady. Just track them a little bit. Give yourself like a 45-degree cone angle around the general area of where the survivor is to allow your spherical hitbox to interact with it, and give yourself like that leeway, and just keep it slow and steady. Don't be chaotic with your movement and your aim. It's also important, line up your strafing with your hatchets. For melee hatchets, what you want to do is you want to line yourself up with the survivor for the most optimal ones. Line yourself up with the survivor with your movement keys and strafe to them, and then throw the hatchet and then tiny move it a little bit. Tiny move it a little bit. I just got a text message, sorry.
To Florida for a trip with friends. I had some annoying ass fucking kid kicking the shit out of my seat.
Make small movements after you release the hatchet, because you can actually affect where the hatchet moves after you release it. Next match, Dead Dog Saloon.
Like, you're never gonna ever see any of those people on the plane again.
So, we'll just start from here. You find a person, keep it slow, steady. Nice, get the hatchet. Don't go for this. Yeah. You wanted to get... So, for this shot, this is a good shot to go for, but don't go for it from here. Get up right here, and then you can hit the hatchet. and you can kind of throw it at a shoulder angle. I like the vision. I like the vision that you're going for this hatchet here. It's a fun hatchet to hit.
Wait, I should probably. Are those scratch marks? Beauty scratch marks.
Hold, hold, hold.
Hmm.
That was just a little bit of
Okay,
a
bro. I guess
misaim.
she does not care.
Wait for it one more time. Now. Nice. Good
She
shit.
dodges the same way every single time.
She has the H. Flick up, flick down.
Do it.
If you flick up there and then return to your original position, she will 100% dead hard. So this is a dead hard bait that you can use. When you see a survivor doing this, what you can do is extremely quickly, as quick as humanly possible, flick your mouse upwards and return it to its original position, because this movement very closely imitates the movement that the Huntress does in the first second when she begins to throw her hatchet. That person will panic DH, and then you will be able to throw it to their location. Although for this survivor, because she used some more like irregular juking movement in the beginning, that indicated she was a little bit more experienced than like the Fang, or perhaps. What I would do is I would flick up and then return to my original position. She would DH, and I would shoot to the right of the DH because she will DH and then turn back in on herself to juke once she saw that your hatchet is not released.
Dead hard for me. Do it. Board damn.
Around this corner, don't
What
pull
I
up.
would do if I
You
had
know
hatchet
that there
again?
is this hay bale here, so you don't want to pull up. You want to get closer to the hatchet. You want to get closer to the recipient of the hatchet first. You
What?
kind of have this
Does
common
it not
problem.
allow me?
You want to shoot closer to the hook there because you know that this is a kind of a smarter player, so she will play
Yeah,
closer to
bro.
the LOS than other players.
Wait.
Now, one of the problems you have is you keep treating Huntress like some long-range demonic class, and she has better long-range capabilities than all other killers in the game, but your best work is performed at short range. She was not going to drop that.
Hmm.
You can tell by the way she's staring at you and just running through that she's not going to drop that. At least this kind of player. Nice. You get
Big
unlucky
words.
there. It's fine because it's a 50-50. I would just break this.
Oh, I thought I'd be able to hit that.
If you were a little faster, you actually can hit that, yes. Close.
Bro.
Just break it. You've committed too many hatchets to it. You
Nice.
also didn't wait. Again, she did the same thing, you fell for the same
Hey,
thing. You
partner.
want to adjust. Nice. This time you adjust. These players, I've already identified a lot of their movements, and I can tell they're not inexperienced versus Huntress, but they don't switch it up at all.
Literally
Which
Huntress.
means that they have exploitable rhythms and patterns, at least until second hook. Maybe when they get on last hook, they will change their rhythms. Nice, very close. If you were a little more to the left, you would have hit, because she actually went back on herself. Nice, you know about the
Mm.
shot, and she does not. She will go to the right. She will go to the right.
Damn.
Yeah, see, I said she'll go to the right, and you did not adjust for it.
Oh.
If you adjusted for it earlier, then yes, you would have been able to hit it. For this shot right here, you can still shoot through those little areas, even at this angle, so you can try and go for those if you so wish. For that shot, a little higher and to the right, and it would have hit her in the back of the head while she was running away. Reload. Put your hatchet down, reload,
Oh,
and
she
hook
seems
that
like a
person.
pally kid.
Nice, you
But
get the hit. That was kind of lucky that she did something like that.
bro. Just hold W
A
for
lot
2
of these
seconds.
decisions I feel like you're making is
Just
just
watch it and pick.
kind of like
That was
greedy
actually running
decisions,
down.
right? Like not really playing to get what you like, playing to the confines of what they should be doing, right?
Well, but where did the
Which
hatchet
is a
even
good
hit?
thing and a bad thing at the same time. This person is not going to peek. Yeah, see? I held the corner. No point even throwing that because they're definitely not going to
Can't
peek.
bring myself to use new DH as long as the
You
animation
can
is
usually
good.
tell if a survivor is
Bro,
going to
that's so
peek
fucking ugly.
or not. I mean, she did poke, so you might have been able to hit her. But you can usually tell if a survivor is going to
Okay,
peek
if
or
this
not,
hatchet's
just
like
depending
right
on
here,
the way that they play in the past. And that
like
Claudette,
somewhere
you
over
can tell
here.
by the way we inferred her movements earlier about the way she was going to play.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back to your highest concentration of active gens. She will dodge on this. Now. Oof, a little off.
Timing is a little off. I didn't even know how he
See? Yeah,
dodged, to
timing's
be
a little
honest.
off. You were also a little
I just
high,
love
in
the
my
way you
opinion.
rolled there.
This should be an insta-down if you pull right here. Yes. Nice, well done. Oof.
Okay, bro.
Wanted to be a little more patient there.
Bro. Bro, I don't like running sprint burst that much. I might just
Okay,
straight
someone
up
is
hit
working
the
on that
rush
gen.
and
You
put
might be able
this
to get a
to the
snipe off.
ends.
Get it fully charged around the corner. Nice. Ooh, I see the vision. I see the vision. Nice. They didn't react at all. I would have thrown that a little shoulder wide just so if they get off at the last second I can hit them. But that angle, you know what I mean, like shoulder wide so that it'll hit them if they stay, it'll hit them if they leave. But that was a good hatchet, irregardless. You're just gonna want to break this. No point really mind gaming it. Because look at how much time you waste with these mind games. These like default Huntress mind games. You don't want to do them too much. You want to try it once. If it doesn't work out in the first 3 to 4 seconds, basically in the first attempt,
Okay,
just
man.
move on. And you're very slow. When you do these, you want to snap and be really quick. Nice. Hit the top left of her hitbox. A
I
little
see
late on that
full
timing. You could have thrown
HP,
through
bro.
the tree and DH.
Nice spinner.
Like, yeah, look how much time you're wasting here. This is a complete waste of a mind game. You eventually get her down, but imagine if you just broke the pallet after you got the hit. This person would have been down because there's nowhere they make, and you have like 4 hatchets up, so there's absolutely nothing you can do if the Huntress just breaks the pallet there. Very close, very
Bro,
close.
oh my
You wanted to throw it
god.
now. Yeah, you
Bro,
missed your throw a little bit. This was very close. It looked like it should have hit,
bro.
but right here, you should release and let it fly over the top of these boxes. It's gonna land right
Be on the
next to
net.
her, and she's gonna be right there. See, she was right there. If that was like 3 seconds back when you were still peeking over the boxes, she would have been to the right of that cactus. We can infer because the way that the survivor moves is she has some basic knowledge of anti-huntress movement, but she's not terribly experienced. So we can see she's moving as if the Huntress is shooting her, but she's not actually looking back and seeing what the Huntress is doing. So she wouldn't have seen that your hatchet was coming over the top, and she would have gotten hit by that because we can tell she's doing anti-Huntress movement. She zigs in at a kind of a zigzag pattern. She goes in past LOS, past those crates. She goes around the cactus, which is something that a lot of players do versus Huntress. They go around things and then go off of those things to further their LOS sequences. And so you would have been able to hit her over those boxes because she went in and then around the cactus, and if you let go of the hatchet at the correct time and thrown it over, it would have landed at the apex of her zigzag as she was rounding the cactus. Throw now. Nice. We know she's not going to juke there because she's not looking at us. She looked back once, and then she kept going W, but she didn't look precisely at where we were. She looked back once.
No, bro, please.
What happened? Oh, nice hatchet. Almost. You needed to do it
No,
higher. It
bro.
needed to be higher or it needed to be more charged. So, because you didn't have time to charge it, what I would have done is charge, and then th throw it over and to the right more, because you were not going to be able to get it charged
I did
enough
that too
to do it
quick.
as a straight flyer. So it needed to be over and to the right, which gives her more opportunity to juke, but it's whatever. Now, returning to the Claudette, the reason why we know that Claudette is not going to juke on that hatchet is because, look, she turns around and looks back, but she doesn't look at us. What does that tell her? She hears the terror radius. She's aware of it, but she does not see you directly, which means that she is going to hold W there, and then once she gets to a more solid LOS blocker, she's going to stop, look around a little bit, and then keep moving. And you hit her during the safety transfer phase. Kind of like how Blight wants to hit survivors after they leave a pallet, Huntress wants to do a similar thing. Right? You want to destroy a loop, possibly get a hit at the loop, and then hit survivors on the way
Bro,
to their transferal to the next pallet or the next
she,
safety spot.
dude, is she in a fucking bush somewhere? I genuinely don't know.
Okay, what do you have here? You have Graves gen, you have the Saloon gen. Yeah, this is gonna be really difficult. You didn't play your early. A lot of Huntresses don't play their early game correctly. They like roam the map. You don't want to do that. You want to stick to an area because that will allow you to control your gens better.
Uh, bro, they're like little snakes.
After this game, I will play a match of Huntress and describe everything in live commentary as I'm doing it.
Wait, what are they? Okay.
And I will mirror the build except for the
Okay.
perk on the right. I do not know what it is, and I probably don't own it, so I will just replace it with Brutal Strength.
That's tough.
Okay, you take out your hatchet. You're getting closer. You're waiting. And you adjust it for the micro movement. Throw to the right.
What
Oh,
is that hitbox,
you
bro?
hit the top of the crate hitbox. Because the edges of the crate have an extended hitbox because it's really a
Wait,
poorly designed
let me
map.
just.
You're gonna hit the vulture. Okay, good. You dodge the vulture. Throw far right, far right. You waited too long. She's gonna keep holding W there. She's not looking back at you. She's 100% gonna keep holding W because it wasn't a fully charged hatchet and you didn't throw it immediately when you put it up. So she's not gonna dodge it. If once she heals the fully charged, you notice
Bro.
once she heard the fully charged sound, that's when she dodged. You see that? Instantaneous. Keep your charge timings mixed up, and it will interfere greatly with the survivor's sense of perceptions of when the Huntress is going to throw.
Huh.
Okay, reloading. Someone's coming for the unhook. Nice. Don't walk through. Okay, they just didn't drop the pallet for whatever reason.
Bro.
A little bit of impatience. A little bit more of impatience. Not playing slow and steady, going for chaotic flicks. You don't want to do that. Again, remember, melee hatchets or close range hatchets. Slow and steady.
Wait, what? They didn't pull her. Wait, what? Why?
Okay,
Explain
Claudette is
yourself.
just standing there, and you get the hedges on her. Nice. So this should now be a 4K. As long as you stop the Saloon gen, you can 4K this. Hooking here is
I
fine.
see.
I would have reloaded first, though.
Bro, I genuinely think she just like disappeared into a bush over there. Are they like? Is she like doing the last gen or something? She's in a locker. She's in a locker. Okay, I see. I see. I'm aware.
Okay,
This
so this
game
game is
is
now over.
kind of cracked for finding. The little
Okay,
rat.
so the game is over. So I will now play a Huntress game, and I will live commentate depicting all the things that I'm doing. It will be my first Huntress game, so it will not be like I will keep playing until I find a one that I win and I do good on. It will just be my first live one. Um, Now, I'm going to describe some common problems. Bit of impatience with melee and close range hatchets. You have a tendency to not take it slow and secure the definite hit. You don't guarantee it. There's a bit of a small patience issue. Uh, More at range issues, when you turn corners or you break LOS, you don't wait and walk a little bit to gain vision. You immediately pull your hatchet, which technically gives you an earlier time to kill, but realistically, you will probably waste a lot of time and lose chases just because you pull immediately. You're slower, and they still have additional LOS that they can play around at range. Ooh, a voice crack. Um, your beginning gameplay, like the beginning of your matches, are poor, and it's very important to the success of your match because Huntress is an extremely slow territorial killer, especially on larger maps. You want to play a tight concentration of gens, demolish all of the loops in that area, force them to go to those gens, and use those loops so you can get rid of it, make it a dead zone, and make it as if every survivor who enters your territory gets utterly destroyed and dismantled, kind of like a hag web, right? You want to play kind of like hag in a web, but with Huntress and gens. And you want to, at the beginning of the match, depending on your corrupt or depending if you don't have corrupt, you want to play the gens that have the best concentration of loops that are better for you. So I can look at a concentration of gens on any map and say, I will play this area, you know, like I will play the gens near 4, 5, and 6 instead of the gens at 12, 1, and 11, because the gens at 4, 5, and 6 have better areas and more dead zoney. It might be more dead zoney. It might be easier for Huntress to hit hatchets there. Whatever the case, I will look at that concentration of gens and say, okay, that area is better for me to call my territory because it is easier for me to procure downs there. This is the kind of thinking that you want to be running on Huntress. And that's the kind of thinking that will win you games by itself, because the early game and the territory control is so very important for the Huntress. Okay, so we're loading into a game. This is my first game on the whole day, so you'll have to you'll have to forgive me if my hands are cold, so to speak. But yeah, we can play Huntress game. We are on Wretched Shop. Not really a great map for Huntress, to be honest. It's too big and it has huge LOS blockers in the middle, but it has some potentially good dead zones, which are really strong for Huntress. Now, this survivor actually has 9,000 hours. I checked in their... They're not gonna drop this. Yeah. I have checked their Steam profile. They have 9,000 hours. They're really... Oh! I kind of just got fucked in the ass. Yeah, I just got fucked in the ass. Goddamn, they're gonna go wide, aren't they? Yeah, they are. I should have predicted that. That makes sense that they would run off of LOS there. Nope, that hatchet fails. Okay, we're gonna have to chase this another person, but a gen should pop soon if we don't play this correctly. Okay. We're gonna run around it. He's probably gonna get transferred to the other side as soon as he can. He's gonna drop it. He didn't drop it. Okay. This time he's gonna drop it, right? Yeah, I should have known that he was gonna drop it. I should have backed up, pulled my hatchet. That's unfortunate for me. We're gonna have to zone him this side. We're gonna double fake like we're not gonna zone, but then we are gonna zone him into this side. We're gonna run around to this part. Let's see if we can catch him with a hatchet on the end. No. I should have swung earlier, or I should have just backed up. He's gonna go wide. He's gonna go wide. I'm playing very poorly right now, but you can see that I'm making the correct predictions. I'm just playing very poorly, playing a little bit nervous, one might say. Not nervous, but I'm just... He's not gonna drop that. Not nervous, but it's just... It's my first game on. We'll just say it's my first game on. So, we're gonna get the down. Gen for a down, not great. We're gonna hook him in a central location. I wanted to make basement if possible, but if not, this is just gonna have to do. But a basement hook here would really save us the game. If I get a basement hook, it should be GG. Okay. We're not gonna pull, we're not gonna pull. Hold your pull, hold your pull. Pull now. Wait, she's gonna juke. Throw now. She's gonna go wide. Okay, I shouldn't... That was my last hatchet, I just realized. I shouldn't have used my last hatchet on a prediction. Never predict with your last hatchet. You want to keep your last hatchet for... Okay, DH, good to know. You want to always keep your last hatchet for confirmed hits and things like that, because otherwise you are kind of powerless. Luckily, very luckily for us, she went down next to basement. This could possibly be game winning for us. She went down next to basement, and we were able to get the down. So not only did we get the down, we got the down next to basement, which is fucking huge for Huntress. This is the concentration of gens we want to play, because there are dead zones around this gen. We don't want to go kind of into the bottom to the bottom left of the map, because that's where all the fresh loops are going to be, and where our area of interest is not going to be present there, right? So like that gen that guy is working on, not really our area of interest. That far gen, this middle gen, and this gen right here, and this gen next to the crane, that is what we're going to be wanting to play. This gen right here next to the crane. Speaking of gen crane, is there someone near here? No, that gen is gone. Another gen will probably be popped soon, but we don't want to care about that. I see someone off in the distance, but they're behind too much LOS to snipe them, and they don't seem like they haven't noticed us yet. We're just gonna kick this. We're just gonna watch our hook. Oh, someone's going there. Yep, they're gonna run away. We throw it over a little to the right. It's gonna hit. Yes. A little against the left. It's gonna hit. No. Okay. Now this person's going into basement. This is a really smart survivor, so they're gonna probably go, yep, all the way around. We get a little closer to the left, strafe in. We're gonna climb to the top of the stairs. Ooh, that was so bad from us. What I should have done, I made an elementary mistake here. A very, very elementary Elementary mistake. We're gonna chase this person down, by the way. We want to tunnel them. Um, throw it over. Yeah, they're not looking back, so we can safely throw that hatchet. Um, what we made a very elementary mistake here, and our mistake was when we get to the top of the stairs, we didn't pull out our 2 hatchets. Instead, we wanted to M1 the Claudette survivor. So she's gonna go back hook basement. We're going to reload. We have our Iron Maiden. Might as well reload. We're gonna go to that other survivor, and we're gonna hook him central of the map of our territory. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this quick enough. Because if we're not able to do it quick enough, someone will infiltrate the basement. Let's see if we can. Can we? No. We are already entirely too slow. That was a bad call for me. Okay, what we're gonna have to do here, we're gonna have to go through the broken doorway, and we're gonna have to shoot a hatchet immediately as they come up. They won't be able to expect it. Got jukes into it. Nice. This is a confirm down here. I probably could have held them one towards him. Okay, DH. We hold it too much and then we missed the hatchet. Very terrible from us. Very, very terrible. That is an elementary mistake there. We throw it over. It doesn't hit because he jukes out this time, which is smart because we did the last time. He insta-drops the pallet. We're not going to be able to down. Okay, never mind. We are able to. I thought we weren't going to be able to down him, and I was about to put away my hatchet because he would have just gone locker and been completely safe, but that's fine. This down, even though we got this down, it's not good for us. We probably should have tunneled the other guy because look at where we are now. We're away from our concentration of gens. We don't really want to be here. There's nothing for us here. We get the hook, but yes, we can't even. We can kind of hook in our territory, but not precisely where we need in our territory, which is basement and this centralized hook next to the main building. Okay, this guy's a fresh hook. We don't want to chase him unless he presents us. In fact, we don't even want to hatchet him. I'm not even going to hatchet him. I'm just going to run up and M1 this guy. Because I'm going to save my hatchet for the Claudette or the Kate. And I want to tunnel one of those 2 targets out of the game. Make myself some really good early pressure. Okay, well, he's just here. So might as well go for it. We throw it over. Doesn't hit. We just leave. We're not chasing that. Okay. Kate is here. Really good for us. She's going to juke on the car. Yes. Hold it. Throw over at the last second. We're going to go all the way around while we keep a vision of this here so that... Oh, there she is. The reason we go all the way around there is because we want to make sure that she doesn't run back into the center of the map or into the area of the map. We want to keep her zoned in there. And we walk back to that area while we still stare straight ahead so we can see if they turn around at the last second and try and go the other way, we can follow them with a hatchet, especially since it's a dead zone. This guy's dead. This game should be winnable now. I'm going to throw it a little to the right in case they juke. They probably just juke to the left because... that didn't hit. Okay, that person's not moving. Okay, this guy's kind of throwing. He didn't go for the LOS breaker. He just stuck in the gen. Okay. What now? Oh, I think there's a person here. I don't want this gen to go. This is a very important gen, so I'm gonna drop him. I'm gonna kick him. And I'm gonna take a peek around these rocks. Someone stealthing here? No? Okay. Okay, in that case, we're gonna hook him right here. And yeah, we're gonna hook maybe maybe I shouldn't have hooked there. I should have hooked more like center where it's this Claudette is running. She doesn't see us. Yeah, that way it's an easy snipe. And now we're just gonna be looking for the last... I see him. He's gonna be going this way. Throw now. Nice. And that's the end of the game. So, key differences. Not only was my aim a bit more refined, which is very important. I'm just gonna DC now. Okay, so...
I don't like running sprint burst though.
Returning. Sorry, I just closed the recording once I typed GG, and I didn't realize that I didn't do my outro. So one of the main differences there is not only is my aim a bit more mechanically consistent, just because I play the killer more and I have more time, and I'm actively watching out for it. The main decision there is a lot of the macro. You can see that Wavy Kate during these Huntress games, he roams the map a lot more than I did. I rarely really went to other places of the map. I went there once. I went to Shack. And Shack was the farthest that I roamed because as Huntress, you want to play a small, consistent, tight-knit territory. You want to make sure that that territory is your home. You want to make sure that all the pallets there are dead zoned or gone, and that the loops there are suboptimal for the survivor to run versus Huntress. You can see in my analysis as well, during my own games, my aim was a lot more based on prediction rather than confirming, which is not necessarily good or not necessarily bad, but it's just depending on how much I have those survivors downloaded. So in a game where the survivors were throwing me off more, I would play for more consistent, more confirmed shots, hold W more, get closer more. But that game, once I got the initial chase out of the way, which was a bit of a hurdle, I got kind of shit on in the first chase. After that initial hurdle, I was able to kind of download the survivor's movement. I was able to understand what was going to happen on the map, where they were going to go, where they were going to want to be, where I want to position myself for the most optimal hatch throws, things like that. So once you have the survivors downloaded, then you can begin to predict more. And versus very good players like that Claudette, you can even kind of understand what they're going to do just because of how good they are. You're going to think, okay, a really good player is going to do this. For example, when I went into the basement, I saw that really good player, that really good Claudette with that really good movement, was going to go to the back, all the way to the back of the back hook. So I entered in. I pulled my hatchet later than what I would usually do. I walked in more. I pulled my hatchet later, and then I strafed a little to the left to clip their hitbox, right? And that way we were able to get that down better. Um, so yeah, that is my Huntress analysis of Wavy K plus my own little commentary on my own game. Um, I will probably be posting some more of these in the coming future. Blight, Huntress, Oni, Billy, those kinds of things. I want to mostly focus on Huntress, but I will post some other killers as well. But I want to mostly focus on Huntress because, as you know, Huntress is my specialty. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all. Thank you for watching. Uh, Thank you, WavyKate, for providing me the VODs. And yes, I'll see you guys next time.